On October 9th, 1958, one of the longest and most influential pontificates of the 20th century came to an end. Pope Pius XII was declared dead. For nearly 2 decades, he had guided the church through wars, persecution, reconstruction, and the earlier years of the Cold War. Following immediately after that was the responsibility of choosing his successor, and for this reason, the eyes of the entire world turned toward Rome. From every corner of the Catholic world, the Cardinals assembled at the Sistine Chapel to vote the successor of the now deceased Pope Pius XII. The Church, in all earnestness, awaited another successor of Saint Peter. Behind these walls of the Sistine Chapel, history would once again be written. One by one, the Cardinals rose to cast their votes. On the outside, the faithful looked upward toward a single chimney, as traditionally accustomed to. The color of its smoke would announce the church's next shepherd. Votes were cast. A winner emerged. He accepted his election. A white smoke appeared from the chimney of the Sistine Chapel, witnessed by thousands gathered at the vicinity of the chapel, as accustomed to tradition, which signifies that the conclave have elected a new pope. Across Rome, crowds began celebrating. Radio stations interrupted their broadcasts, and the announcement that a new pope had been elected reached every corner. Then something unusual happened. The crowd waited in vain, yet no pope appeared on the central balcony of St. Peter's Basilica, as is accustomed to after every appearance of a white smoke. Soon afterward, the white smoke darkened. The excitement subsided, leaving the crowd wondering what on earth just happened. Inside the Vatican, the battle continued. The election was reordered, and the conclave reconvened and continued. That brief appearance of the white smoke, followed by jubilation and radio broadcast interruptions, marked the beginning of one of the most enduring controversies in modern Catholic history. Events that later unfolded revealed that Cardinal Giuseppe Siri was elected Pope during the conclave. He accepted his election, taking the name Pope Gregory XVII, but was forced to abandon his throne because of pressure and threats. What effectively followed afterwards was that a fresh conclave election was conducted, which resulted in the election of an unexpected pope, Angelo Giuseppe Roncalli, who took the name Pope John the 23rd. What happened to Cardinal Siri afterwards, one may ask. History has it that he fully participated in the ensuing Second Vatican Council as one of the strong conservative cardinals, consistently insisting that the council must not depart from the true mission of the Catholic Church. After the council, the official statement holds that he retired and died as Archbishop Emeritus of Genoa in 1989, while others hold the contrary notion that he repented of his inability to not endure the threats and walked up to the balcony as the elected pope, and to this effect went underground with a group of conservatives and continued the apostolic succession. Now, the elephant in the room is obviously the question waiting to be asked out loud, which is the apostolic succession through Pope Gregory XVII still in existence today? Before we take a second look at that question, why don't we first consult the sacred magisterium of the Church to first understand what constitutes to the validity or invalidity of an elected pope? The first condition: vacancy of the apostolic see. According to Pope Pius XII in his apostolic constitution, Vacantis Apostolicae Sedis of 8th December 1945, paragraph 1, it reads: during the vacancy of the apostolic see, the Sacred College of Cardinals shall possess absolutely no power or jurisdiction in those matters which belonged to the Supreme Pontiff while he was alive, all such matters being reserved exclusively to the future Pope. Now, one of those matters is the existence of the reigning Pope himself. For as long as the Pope is alive and has not validly resigned, there is no office to fill, and therefore the Cardinals possess no authority to create another Pope. So only when the see is vacant does the need for electoral conclave arise. For the case under study, Pope Pius XII died, truly leaving the seat of Peter vacant. Thus, condition number 1 is successfully met. The second condition: conclave by College of Cardinals. In the same Vacantis Apostolicae Sedis of Pope Pius XII, paragraph 32 reads: the right of electing the Roman Pontiff belongs solely and exclusively to the Cardinals of the Holy Roman Church. Every intervention of any ecclesiastical dignity or lay power whatsoever being absolutely excluded. Further down in paragraph 33, it continues: if the Roman Pontiff should die during the celebration of an ecumenical council, the election of the new Pontiff must always and exclusively be carried out by the College of Cardinals, and by no means by the Council itself. For the case under study, the election of Pope Gregory XVII was in accordance to sacred magisterium. In other words, condition number 2 is passed. The third condition: election law cannot be changed. In the same Vacantis Apostolicae Sedis, in paragraph 3, it reads: the laws enacted by the Roman pontiffs cannot in any way be corrected or changed by the College of Cardinals while the apostolic see is vacant, nor may anything be added to them or taken from them, especially those laws concerning the election of the Roman Pontiff. If anything should be attempted contrary to this prescription, we declare it null and void by our supreme authority. In the case of Cardinal Siri, elected as Pope Gregory XVII, the election law wasn't tampered with before his election. In other words, condition number 3 is passed. The fourth condition: no civil interference. In the oath prescribed by Cardinals prior to an election of a pope in the same vacantis apostolic settings, it is written, "We shall in no way receive from any civil authority the commission to propose a veto or exclusive right, nor shall we lend assistance or favor to any intervention whereby secular powers may wish to interfere in the election of the Roman Pontiff." In the case of the election of Pope Gregory XVII, there was no recorded civil interference prior to his election that validated him as a pope. Interference in the form of threats came only after he was duly elected, accepted his election, and chose himself the new name, Pope Gregory XVII. In other words, condition number 4 is passed. Fifth, full acceptance. In the same documents, paragraph 100, it reads, "After the canonical election has taken place, the dean of the college shall ask the one elected, acceptaste electione de te canonice factam in summum pontificem?" Meaning, do you accept your canonical election as supreme pontiff? In the case under study, after the election of Cardinal Siri, he chose the name Pope Gregory XVII. This wouldn't have happened if he refused his election. In other words, condition number 5 passed. Number 6, acquisition of papacy upon acceptance. In paragraph 101, it continues, "Once this consent has been given, the person elected is immediately the true pope and acquires and is able to exercise full and absolute jurisdiction over the whole world." In other words, immediately one accepts the election, the authority of the papacy is immediately conferred upon him. No need to walk up to the balcony. Even the white smoke is not canonically a requirement. Only his full acceptance is the requirement. In the case under study, Cardinal Siri would not have taken up the name Pope Gregory XVII if he had not accepted his election. And since he did accept it, leading to his choice of papal name, he therefore automatically and officially received the supreme authority as a legal and valid successor of Saint Peter. In other words, condition number 6 passed. The 7th condition, prescribed by majority. In the same vacantis apostolic sedis of Pius XII, the Constitution retains Gregory XV's scrutiny method of a 2/3 majority for validity of an election. In the case under study, Pope Gregory XVII's election met that criteria also. In other words, condition number 7 passed. Having carefully examined all the evidences supporting the valid election of Pope Gregory XVII, Let us now get back to the elephant in the room question. Is the apostolic succession through Pope Gregory XVII still in existence today? Rather than argue blindly on whether it exists today or not, from all the evidences gathered from the sacred magisterial which we have carefully examined thus far, it cannot be denied that Cardinal Siri was validly elected Pope. And whether you believe it or not, however astonishing it may sound to you, the truth remains. Walking up to the balcony or not after the appearance of a white smoke is not a requirement for the validation of a pope. And since there is no evidence to Pope Gregory XVII's valid resignation on record, it is very difficult to call his apostolic succession, if it exists, invalid. In fact, if it exists, that completely confirms the already validated message of Our Lady of La Salette in 1879, where she stated that the Church will be in eclipse. No need to rush. Let's allow this statement to sink in properly. The Church will be in eclipse. In this statement is the shocking truth hidden in plain sight. Because when an eclipse of the sun occurs, it's simply the moon coming up to block our view of the sun. During an eclipse, and for however long it may last, the sun never ceased to be the sun. Not for a single moment did it lose its brilliance. Its light never failed. Its warmth never diminished. Its glory never faded. It was always there, constant though hidden, faithful though unseen, patient though blocked from our eyes. In the pitch of the darkness caused by the eclipse of Vatican II, the unchanging presence of the Church seems eclipsed by sorrow, by suffering, by doubt, or by our own wandering hearts. When we look up to search for the guiding light of the deposit of faith that received from the apostles, we see nothing but the teachings of the Antichrist. We sigh and we wonder where the Church has gone to, abandoning us in the cold, while wolves in sheep clothing parade themselves with false dignity. Yet in all of this, the sun has not moved, the true Church has not changed, and strangely enough, she had not withdrawn her light. She was only blocked from our view. She remains the true Church she has always been, steadfast when we are restless, faithful when we are forgetful, constant when we are inconsistent. Even when our vision is obscured, the Church continued uninterrupted as willed by providence. A very important observation to be made as regard eclipses is that an eclipse never changes the sun. It changes only what we are able to see. And when the shadow passes, we do not witness the sun returning. We simply rediscover that it had been there all along, shining with the same unwavering splendor. Such should be the case of the true Catholic Church, overshadowed by Vatican II, yet never extinguished, never diminished, never absent, and never prevailed by the gates of hell. And if perchance the apostolic succession under Pope Gregory XVII still exists till today, then their stance as the true successor of Peter is completely unarguable under the light of reason and logic, as far as the constitutions of the Catholic Church is concerned. What therefore remains of them now that the veil is lifting, that the shackles of Satan is falling apart, that the eclipse is weak and waning, is to visibly announce themselves to the world, projecting their ever-warm, life-giving light back to the faithful sheep who have gone blind for having sat in darkness for far too long. For now, we can only but pray and sigh and wonder if Pope Gregory XVII, against all odds and the persecutions that came with it, persistently continued the apostolic succession. Satan gets behind. Your time has declined. You've done all your worst. We just brought the best in us. We have nothing to lose. That's why we will light the fuse. You know that once we awaken, all your shackles will be shaken. Some birds are not meant to fly. What if we have wings and no dreams to fly? Why shouldn't we try? We'll try. We'll try. We will rebuild the church. The Lord is our guide. On this path we glide. Even though the terrain is strange, yet in God will be unchanged. Victory is ours. Shame and defeat are all yours. He, Immaculate Heart of Mary, shall triumph.